Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Pulp Crazy. I'm your host, Jason Aiken. In this week's episode, I will be discussing Totem and Taboo by Philip José Farmer. February 25th, 2015 marked 6 years since the passing of this enormous talent, so I decided to read one of his stories in remembrance of him. By coincidence, or fate, a copy of The Grand Adventure arrived in my mail on February 25th. This is a beautifully illustrated collection of Farmer's work, published by Byron, Preiss, and Berkley Books. It contains some PJF stories that I've been dying to read. The Totem and Taboo title caught my interest, and after reading Farmer's introduction to it, I just had to read it. The story itself isn't very long. Farmer's introduction is nearly as long as the story itself, but he conveys some interesting points and background material in the introduction. Totem and Taboo combines two of Farmer's interests: psychology and psychotherapy, as well as totems. The name of the story being identical to a thesis by Sigmund Freud isn't a coincidence. In the introduction, Farmer says this story has nothing to do with Freud's thesis. But then again, he also says it might have something to do with it after all. Farmer had an interest in psychotherapy and psychology, which played a big part in his World of Tears novel, Red Orc's Rage. PJF also gives some serious thought about animals towards the beginning of his introduction, as well as comparing and contrasting their actions to humans. This kind of thinking is seen from him in other works relating to feral humans. Of course, totems play a part in the Kokarsa series, with Hayden of Ancient Opar being a member of the Ant Totem, and Quasin of Dithbeth being a member of the Thunderbear Totem. According to Farmer, at the conclusion of his intro, no psychologist or psychoanalyst, as far as he was aware, had combined zoology with their particular school of theory or technique. Farmer mused that maybe they should look into this. Totem and Taboo itself stars Jay Martin. He's a drinker with a fiancé problem. Jay's totem is that of the avian variety. His fiancée, Kathy Felon, is of the feline variety. It seems like their relationship isn't going very well, and he develops a drinking problem as a result. Jay hears from his bartender about a psychotherapist, Dr. Capra, with a unique approach to therapy. Jay meets Dr. Capra, and the doctor explains his theory about how primitive humans were onto something in regards to totems, and he uses totems as a part of his practice. He sizes up Jay's totem correctly, as well as that of his fiancée. During his session, Jay tries to tell the doctor about his relationship problems, but the doctor says he has a full waiting room and brushes Jay off. He does give him a bottle of pills with instructions to take one every 2 hours. According to Dr. Capra, these pills will manifest his totem. Dr. Capra explicitly tells Jay not to drink when on the pills. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to spoil the rest of the story, but I will say it's pretty funny what happens. As I said, I read this in The Grand Adventure, but you could also find it in the book of Philip José Farmer. I have both, and each of them contains some nice PJF tales. You can't go wrong with either one. Both of them are available for affordable prices on Amazon. One of the worst cases of bad timing in my life is discovering Philip José Farmer and his work. He passed away only a few months after I first heard about him and his work with Tarzan and Doc Savage. I wish I had gotten into this stuff just a little bit sooner, so I could have at least wrote him a letter and told him how much I enjoyed his work. Since then, I've really only scratched the surface of his contributions to fiction, and I'm very much enjoying making my way through his bibliography. Check out pjfarmer.com to learn more about this fantastic writer, whose influence is still visible today across multiple mediums. The Wold Newton Universe, Anno Dracula, Tales of the Shadow Men, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Planetary, and Penny Dreadful are just some examples of what his Wold Newton family inspired. Farmer was also a prolific science fiction writer. The Lovers, Riverworld, and The World of Tears, to just name 3 tales that he's known for. If someone were to do what he did with the Wold Newton family and his pulp-related material, they would have been a resounding success, just as Farmer was. If someone would have done what he did within the field of science fiction, they would have been a science fiction grandmaster, just as Farmer was. Farmer did both. He's an immortal. He's a legend. That's it for this week's episode. Pulp Crazy is located at pulpcrazy.com. I'm at Pulp Crazy on Twitter and facebook.com/pulpcrazy. My YouTube channel is located at youtube.com/pulpcast. You can also email me at pulpcrazy@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.